everybody, it's Emily at Homeschooling, and today I'm going to be talking about 5 true history books. So today I'm doing a collab with Valerie from our homeschool castle. She is a secular homeschooling mother of 5, and she makes a lot of really great videos. Her content covers everything from curriculum reviews to grocery hauls and homeschooling her special needs child and even teaching ASL. So her channel is great. You should definitely go check her out. I'm going to leave her information down below for you in the description box. So today we're going to be talking about 5 history books. My pile is heavy, sorry. About 5 history books that I think tell the true history. These are all books that I take it back. All but one are books that I use in Build Your Library. One of them I wanted to, it just didn't fit. Time constraints and all of that. But we're just going to talk about this pile. So let's get into it. The first book I want to mention is A Different Mirror, A History of Multicultural America by Ronald Takaki. This is a great history text that you can use to teach American history. I don't think it's enough by itself. Like, I wouldn't use this as a standalone history text, but when you combine it with other things, I think it helps to give a really full, rounded picture of what American history really looks like. This covers American history from the founding, before it became a country, all the way through modern day, and it takes the focus of immigrants and immigration and gives voices to that part of history. And I just think it's really well written, really interesting to read. I was riveted reading this, and you don't often say that you're riveted while reading a history text, but I legitimately was. This is extremely readable. There's also a middle grade version that I use in levels 5 and 6 that is also great, but I think this is just phenomenal. And I think it should be required reading, honestly. Next up, I want to talk about the United States Constitution, a graphic adaptation, and this is by Jonathan Hennessy. I mean, it's the Constitution, and this makes it not just readable, but easy to understand. And I think, given today's everything, this is a book that I think absolutely everyone should read. If you think it's too difficult to read the Constitution in its original language, or if you want something that's going to help explain it to you in an easy to understand way, this is great. I think this works for all ages as well. I would recommend this for middle grade and up. I use it in level 12 of Build Your Library, but honestly, this is readable for a variety of ages. And I really enjoy graphic novels anyway, but I really like it when graphic novels can teach me something. I just think it's important, and it's really well put together, and it should be, again, I mean, it is required reading, is it not? But this particular edition, I think, is just really great. Next, I want to talk about Votes for Women, American Suffragists and the Battle for the Ballot by Winifred Conkling. This I also use in level 12, and I just think this book in particular is just such a great way to introduce this topic. I will be honest and say this is not something that was covered very much in my schooling, which, like, what the heck is that about? I don't understand. It should have been. But for whatever reason, we really gloss over this. Like, I knew a little bit about the suffrage movement from Mary Poppins and things like that, where it, in pop culture, but I'd never really gone and read anything that deep about it. This book is very eye-opening and really thorough and interesting to read, while still being very readable. This covers the entire suffrage movement. So this starts in like the 1840s and 50s with Elizabeth Cady Stanton and Susan B. Anthony, but then it goes through the whole movement all the way up till women are able to vote in 1920. So this was just really fascinating to read, and it made me want to dig even deeper and learn even more. And I'm still like looking for I'm looking for historical fiction right now, honestly. I really want to read something written about them, or this movement, in historical fiction. So if you've got recommendations, leave them down below for me. Next up, I want to talk about Making Our Way Home, The Great Migration and the Black American Dream by Blair Imani. And this I bought with level 6 in mind, but I couldn't make it fit. There's not enough time to cover all of the things, sadly. This is really interestingly put together. I love when a text is accompanied by lots of illustrations. As you can see, it breaks up the text just enough to keep a child's interest and gives you lots of nice little extra features to look at as you're reading. So this is really readable, and it covers 6 decades, so from the end of the Civil War through the 1970s. So you're getting a huge range of history in this little book. It's not humongous, so that's a lot to be covered. So I just think the illustrations really make this, and it's just a really great book, and there's not a ton of resources on this topic for kids at all. I'm not even sure this book is specifically for kids, but I think it's super readable and could be read by teens. The last book I'm going to talk about today, this was 5 books, is This Land is Our Land, A History of American Immigration by Linda Barrett Osborne. This I use in level 6. It pairs really nicely with a different mirror because, again, focuses on the immigrant experience and the process of immigration throughout American history. This starts with the first waves of colonists coming to America and goes all the way through like Ellis Island and all of that into modern day immigration. And it's just a really great readable resource. I found myself learning new things as I was reading this. This book is great, and I highly recommend picking it up. So these are my 5 true to history recommendations that I'm going to share with you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to check out Valerie's video down below. I think she's going to be talking about books aimed more for younger children if you're interested in that. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Happy reading. Bye.